Alright. Alright. Sorry. Kind of literally woke up like not even like what 2 hours ago, and I'm still tired. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, as like everyone else on the channel, I also went to nationals for UK. I was using Yubel Unchained, so this is my deck profiling and everything. So this is pretty much what I want to do in sense of I give a description of what I used as well as what I would change because I did so poorly. So instead of just it being, yes, my deck is amazing, do this, do that. Yeah, no, it's probably just going to be me trying to actually give some valid advice from my personal experience of what to do and what to use instead of, that bogus. Right. So first, I used the Terra Incarnate, and I actually used 2 normal base Yubels. Now, that's the problem, right? So I used 3 Yubels specifically for the potential that I could continue off more combos, and also the potential that, and this is like what happened in locals, my base Yubel would be banished face down, and because it's banished face down, it kind of just messes up the entirety of the combo when it comes to Yubel. So I basically ran 2, but it was actually not as good as I thought. So obviously, from my learning experience of this one, I take out 1, and this is all you need. 3 spirits, obviously, because you need to get that Yubel spells and stuff like Nightmare Pain. That's pretty much it for. And then obviously, if you have 1 in hand, someone attacks, you can special summon Yubel Spirit to protect yourself at the turn, or hopefully to do so. And Terra Incarnate is just unfortunately, if the deck could be ran without it, I would stop, but Nightmare Throne and stuff like that, you kind of want it to stop any potential risk of danger. Next, I used 3 Samsara Lotus and 3 Gruesome Grave Squirmers. Now, obviously, Samsara Lotus is like the main monster for this deck. When it comes to a Yubel, it's always needed. 3 Samsaras lead you into a 1-card combo, and the Gruesome is just an extender, but also can be an out to Effect Veiler and Imperm, because if, let's say, for example, someone tries to negate your spirit, you can just special summon Gruesome, destroy spirit, there's no target for the Effect Veiler, therefore you can continue the spirit effect whilst also then continuously using the spirit effect to then bring out a Yubel as well as the Nightmare Pain on the field, so you can keep going. Then you also have this on the field, you can link it off Unchained Yama, then you've got a Reborn from the Gruesome. It's so like originally I was only going to use 2, but I don't think I regret using 3, because 3 was actually a good decision, I think. Then when it comes to other monsters, I'm just gonna grab these anyway, but I used Unchained Shibara, Unchained Shiyama, which is a hot take for most Yubel players, and 2 Beckoning Beasts. So use 2 Beckoning Beasts for like the side engine, and then go into Spirit Gates and stuff like that. Now the only issue I had with this is, well, I'll try and show now, in the sense that I used 3 opening of the Spirit Gates. I used 3, and that's the issue. I used 3 because I found myself drawing into too many of my Dark Beckoning. I drew into 2 of my Dark Beckoning Beasts a lot, and if you do that, you cannot activate Spirit Gate, because you have to normal summon 1 Beckoning to search Super Servant Spirit Gate, but Spirit Gate cannot activate unless you have a target in the deck. So it's a mandatory search, so if both of these are in your hand, you can't activate it, which is a massive ball ache. So I think personally, at the moment, I would go 3 Dark Beckoning Beast and cut down 1 Spirit Gate. That's my idea on what I do. But also Spirit Gate's just good because you can recycle continuous spells, and you use like 3 in this deck, so it's a really good side engine on that one. Yeah, Shibara, obviously, Shibara is absolutely amazing in this deck, then because obviously you'll use it to get into Soul of Rage, then set Chamber, so then you can do Soul of Rage Interruption. I use Shiyama because what if I drew into Shibara in my starting hand, I have something to search with Yama. But also Spirit Gate discard, revive a monster like Spirit of Yubel, then you can destroy Spirit, bring out this, then you can use Spirit to bring out Yubel. That was my entire attention with it. It did actually go decently well for me at Nationals, but I don't think it could have done. I think it pretty much did what it had to do. That's pretty much my only thing. Next, I used 3 Nightmare Pain and 1 Mature Chronicle. Right, Nightmare Pain is pretty much a staple, but obviously, if you're side decking, just get rid of 1. Depending on the matchup you're having, you only really need 2. But I use 3 just for a side deck option. But it's really good in the sense that you have a search, but also it targets you activate to destroy a dark monster. It doesn't have to be a Yubel, it doesn't have to be a fainted dark monster, and that's really good later on when it comes to Valdris, like the Xyz, rank 10. I used Mature Chronicle just for like the potential that I can just keep, like, if you have it in your starting hand and you have full Yubel engine, you could pretty much just search through Poly, or even just go into countless other things with Mature Chronicle. Now it's bricky, and I think I would probably just get rid of it as soon as like the new Phantom of Yubel and Fiendsmith have come out. I'm not going to use it anymore, I'm not going to lie. Next, Terraforming with 3 Nightmare Thrones. A Nightmare Throne, absolutely busted. Gonna be honest, absolutely busted card. 1 card combo, extendo in some cases, and then and all that. It's busted. The fact that you can also destroy from deck instead of just add to hand is also like you can do a droll dodge, which weirdly enough you don't see droll these days, so it's not much of an issue. Next, for any other little side spells, I used 1 for 1 and 2 Super Poly. Now, I'm gonna probably get rid of Super Poly. Super Poly, I barely even managed to pull off properly. It wasn't doing anything for me because no matter what I did against these branded or Chimera decks, they just kept coming back, and I don't think Super Poly's doing very well in this format. So I think I would just get rid of the Super Poly. But 1 for 1, amazing, because you need to try and get that Samsara D Lotus out as quickly as you can. To try and get your combo. Next for the part of the deck, these are my hand traps. So I run 3 Effect Veilers, 3 Ashes, 3 Imperms, and 3 Nibiru's. There's no real proper way for me to try and get them all on this board. Yeah, I ran 3 Nibs, 3 Effect Veilers, 3 Ashes, and 3 Imperms. These are pretty much my hand traps. I don't really need to describe what any of them do. Nibiru was good, right? The only thing is Nibiru is good for my deck because my deck doesn't care if it's in the if anything's in the graveyard. So that's why I use Nibiru, because at least then, even then, if the enemy, if the opponent if the opponent has like a shitload of high level, high rank, attack point monsters, just Nibiru, put their and this is actually what I tried to do, and I did win 1 match this way, but he had a bunch of high attack position monsters, so I just nibbed them all off, took them in attack mode on their field, and then my turn, I just smacked it with the Yubel. Just for the Nightmare Pain proc, and it was actually very satisfying, so that's why I do. Anyway, so yeah, Super Poly targets, obviously Garara and Muddragon, and obviously just a board wiping, just Yubel Loving Defender. I saw this once, and even then, it just got negated and just dealt with. I'm probably, as soon as Phantom comes out, I don't even think I see any point in using Super Poly or those, so I would choose some other options instead of those 3. Next, I used, for my Xyz, Shinbuster, Gustav, and Valdris. First, Gustav, I'm not using this anymore, honestly. It's good for the burn damage, but I didn't see it once, and I don't see it being used anymore. Shinbuster was just there as like a nib out, like early game, Dark Beckoning into opening into Beckoning, normal summon Beckoning, Xyz into Shinbuster. Simple as. I thought that would be a good option, so that's why I used it. I saw it once. It was okay, it got me out of some situations. Valdris, amazing card, just in general. Omni negate, and then you non-target pop something else on the field. It can be even yourself. your own cards, which is amazing because of Yubel. And then obviously if you're attacking with materials on, non-target, pop a card on the field. If this card is destroyed, cough cough, what I mentioned earlier, Nightmare Pain, destroy Valdris. And then obviously Valdris effect, non-target pop. It is really good. Valdris is busted, and this is why I love the idea that Baron got banned, because now it led way for that. Now I'm going to move on to my other parts of my extra deck. So I showed you the fusions and the XCs. I'm going to show you the links now. So I ran the basic Unchained package of Anguish, Soul of Rage, and Yama. Arguably, don't need Anguish, but I use Anguish as if, like, let's say I'm going second, I can just go into Anguish and force link it to, where is he? Here we go, Access. So, you know, that was an option. Yama obviously into Shavara or Shiyama. Shavara mainly. Shavara goes in and all that. Then you have the extended from grave to banish and revive a monster. Obviously on your opponent's turn you could do it and bring back a Spirit of Yubel or Yubel and then just get a Nightmare Pain proc and they have to attack Yubel. Rage, obviously, Rage force link into something. Disclosure, I would have had SP Little Knight. I didn't have it until after I got kicked, until I was pretty much just kicked out of the tournament because I couldn't actually do. I pretty much lost all the matches, so I wasn't able to participate any longer. So Soul of Rage into SP, but then SP I got later on. Yan got it for me. Too nice. He's too nice. But yeah, no, that's like an interruption of Soul of Rage, like, you know, revive Soul of Rage with Unchained Chamber that I showed earlier. Rage into SP banish, and then obviously SP has the other little interruption and all that. As for other links, I used a Salaman Great Amirage, IP Masquerena, Appaloosa, Muckraker, and Underworld Goddess. Now, I used Amirage as like a way to, like, if you normal summon Samsara or start beckoning, you can link off to this, and then all you have to do is just use, like, let's just say, like, I don't know, you get Gruesome in the graveyard, or you even just have Spirit Gates. You have a Sting in the graveyard, so you could bring back your Samsara, even if it gets an impermed or effect failure, just bring back your Samsara, and then you can continue your combo. It's a way of out, that's why I use the Amirage. Muckraker, just Shavara locks you into Fiends, and this is the easiest Fiend I can probably summon out of the blue without having to try and go into anything else. So I try to use Shavara into this, but the only issue I have with it is it can't be linked, so that's probably one issue. Then obviously it can bring back Fiend monsters. It doesn't say anything about 0 attack or 0 defense like Spirit Gate, so you can bring back any of the Unchained stuff, which is lovely. Appaloosa, I don't really need to say anything about Appaloosa, you know, up to 4 monster negates. I use IP and Underworld Goddess because I like the idea where IP force links or on the opponent's turn, so I can just IP effect, but I'm going into Underworld Goddess. So if I'm going into Underworld Goddess, I can then force link something on their field, and obviously just link 1, 2, 3, then just have to add 2 of my monsters, and that's all the requirements you need for Underworld Goddess anyway. So it's a good way to just get Underworld Goddess, and then you have like a graveyard negate special summon stuff. Yeah, that's my deck list. Like I said, throughout that video, I know I was a bit fast. That's just because I needed to get this video out of the way. But yeah, I think, like I said, I would cut down the Yubel to 1, potentially cut down Nightmare Pain to like 2, but then I'm going to keep it at 1. When like the Phantom Yubel and Fiendsmith come out, then I'll make a new deck list of what I plan to use. Obviously now I've got SP Little Knight as well, so that's going to be changing something in there. At the moment, that was my deck list for the UK Nats when I used last week. I'm not using Yubel until Phantom comes out. Then we'll probably mess around with it once or twice, and then when Fiendsmith comes out, then that's when I'm going to go back to Yubel and do stuff like that. Now, I've moved on to even more hateful ways. I'm now using Kashtera Tenpai because I'm a hater. So that's my that's my logic on that. 1 second. Okay, my girlfriend is now joining, so I'll end the video there. Thank you for watching, and fuck Brandon. This is the extent. This is the extent of my content on this. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Alright, okay, no, okay, no.
I was lighting your cigarette.
It's already lit!